Where do I start? Dear Diamonds and fellow Diamonds in Rough, it's been quite eventful for yours truly, with a lot of events that have put me into question in terms of me as a CC slash as a person. Because when I receive criticism, I always look inwards. I'm like, is it me? Like, because I try my best for what I do as a creator reflects who I am. And I've been doing a little bit of a poor job when it comes to that. And I want to go over some of that today. And also, in certain things, explain and clarify certain misconceptions I've been seeing people have of me as of late. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The first one I want to go over is definitely Tectone calling me out on my most recent video. And obviously, that video was not received well at all because of how I presented it. Now, I feel like the arguments within it are valid, and even good old Techless said the same thing that I had said in the video. The content was good, but the packaging was shit. And I realize now that it's not just intrigue anymore. The presentation is changing on what you can get away with and what you cannot get away with when it comes to presenting your video, especially when it comes to titling it. And I realize now that, especially also the timing and the sentiment that people have, those are two interesting variables that have come to my attention that if I didn't make that recent mistake, I wouldn't have known. And it's thanks to people like Tecton for calling you out on that and giving you actual guidance in how to better go about doing things. Is what makes, I feel like, this space more and more engaging for people like me personally. I like to learn. I'm always in a journey to learn. I'm ever changing. That's who I am as a person. I know about you guys, but I'm always open to learn. I'm always open to make mistakes, as few as I can, but I'm all for learning because ultimately we're human. Your shit will always stink, and that's always a reminder that you are not perfect. So I just want to start off by saying that that was a quite good experience for me. I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, he cooked you. He did this. He did this." That's a good cook. If I can grow from it, I'm all for it. Like, I'm not this. Please don't cook me. I'm such a hard ass type guy. Like, if anything, hey, please critique. I'll just grow better from it. I'm like Goku Black. The more you hurt me, the more I get stronger. I'll just keep going from chronological order. That was the most recent one. The one after that, I think it was EO. Now, when it comes to EO, that was over on Twitter. A lot of you guys may not have seen that over here on YouTube. On Twitter, let's just say I'm not the best. I'm not really who I am on Twitter, and I'm learning that the hard way. I got called a grandpa by a fucking bald man. Like, that right there is a violation. But hey, we learn. That's like I said, it's all a journey and a path to learn, man. But over on Twitter, EO said the glue meme. I think you guys must have heard about the glue meme. He did the glue meme. Now, I happen to have commented on the post that had the glue meme, and let's just say that my comment was supportive of EO because of reasons that are going to be hard to explain, but are the truth. Now, here's literally what happened when I commented on that post. I read the first 2 points of that post because I think he listed like five or six. I read the first two. I just assumed the rest were like those. I feel like the two first ones are good sentiments. I stand with those. I can't remember which ones, but I remember just reading the first two. I'll probably have them on the screen. I read the first two. I did not read the rest. The rest where the problem lied, and I just commented like I just be scrolling, man. I'll be completely honest. I'm not that locked in when scrolling social media, less so Twitter, believe me. So I just commented that, and a lot of people were thinking that I had agreed with it, and like that those like all are legitimate points when I just agreed on two. And look, what I'm learning over on Twitter are two things. You really got to be careful on what you comment on, in the sense of read everything, make sure you understand everything before commenting, because people will literally take screenshots of your ass making mistakes. And second, and most importantly, that Twitter is a different ball game when it comes to social media, and my behavior there is way different than how I am. I definitely gotta clean up my act a little. There's some things I really like want to shit talk. I thought like it's a meme fucking platform. I'll be completely honest. That's literally what I thought Twitter is. Like, you just try to meme on things as much as possible, or maybe like the conversation starters or some shit like that. I'm not understanding how it goes well yet. I still think I have to learn more and do research on how Twitter goes as a platform and the culture of Twitter. I feel like there's a certain culture to each platform, so I guess maybe Twitter has its own culture, and I'm obviously a grandpa when it comes to that goddamn culture. Or maybe it's just the way I behave towards it. I still got to figure that shit out. Any guidance would be greatly appreciated, please, but make sure you do if you want to. So yeah, that's the EO part. I just read two lines. Me being a Yu-Gi-Oh player finally caught up to my ass. If you don't understand that reference, basically Yu-Gi-Oh card texts have like a lot of text in them, right? So what the players usually do is that they read the first three lines or so, and they just be like, "Oh, it's probably going to be doing this and this and this." They just assume everything else. They don't like take time to read everything. They just read the first things and assume the rest is something in their mind. And then it's like, "Oh shit, I didn't know this card could do this." Well, you read it earlier, man. What happened? And they're like, "Oh, I just read the first two lines, man." That type of shit. Thank God I'm not signing any legal documents. How easy it would be to scam my ass. Oh man. And next, I want to talk about probably the what I'm going to be calling this video. I've been called a snake recently, which was very interesting for me. Not solid snake, or hell, I would even take liquid snake. You know what? I'll settle for naked snake. Ladies. Basically, what happened was during Saint Tontas's Broly Berserk Rage mode, Hulk mode, whatever you want to call it. Basically, when he was policing content creators, trying to stand atop all guide makers, etc. Like, I'm gonna go over all your guys, and I get to dictate what's good or not. Also, I have noticed it made me realize just how much anger he harbored, and I didn't like that, to be honest with you. It was a bad look. I have no idea why he went that far, and I'm like, what are we even doing here? That this is toxic. Now, when it comes to Saint Tontas, I know it's a tricky subject because I probably am his ultimate defender. A bald man tries to take that title, but let's face it, it's probably my ass because in his first drama, I spoke with bro for hours and hours trying to make him process everything that's happening and how people go about that particular situation and try to help him as much as I can navigate that particular situation. And even after that, before he started streaming and everything, I was fighting his own battles and stuff, you know, like I've always had bro's back, right? So a lot of people were scratching their heads and going, why would me, out of all people, um, turn on him in the sense of disagree with the behavior at hand? I don't have a problem with him as a person, but I have a problem with the current behavior. Something that, thankfully, I think 90% of all the rest of the CCs agree that, yeah, that's a bit too much. I think we can all agree that's a bit. Was he called a pit bull? Dude, if you're being called a pit bull, you know you need to calm the fuck. Bro swears he's Broly. Bro is reverse jumping proof, right? Bro got jumped. He survived the jumping. Slash, bro just builds up so much aura he has to let loose. Like he's just a raging demon. I think that's the best analogy we can give to him. And what was funny to me is when that occurred, I've had a lot of people try to call me being a snake and everything. I was like, first of all, it was disappointing for me at least, because I thought he grew from this. Because he was doing the same behavior he was doing months ago in the first drama. So I'll admit there was some disappointment from my side towards him. I was disappointed in him, to be honest with you. And it's not a sentiment I've shared before, but since I have to clear up everything that happened and how things were on my side, I just want to make sure this is on the record. I was a little disappointed because I was like, didn't you learn from what happened that this level of aggro is a little too much, right? And the thing is also policing and trying to, you know, I'm the best, you guys have to go through me. It's like, unless you get my Saint Tonchas badge of approval to your video, like that shit is ass, or people are going to be skeptical. And I hope that's the right term, in watching and taking that video at face value, because let's face it, recently I've been trying to rework my characters and stuff. And when I wanted to see how to build them and stuff, I went to Pridwin, and then I remembered that, oh wait, well, Pridwin isn't good when it comes to Wuthering Waves. So I guess I gotta go to YouTube and stuff, which goes to show the power of the reputation to platforms. Like if someone's platform is deemed, well, that's just misinformation, it's not good information, etc. Well, you're gonna drop that and try to find a better source, right? Someone that's has a stamp on, and if that stamp is a creator and not more so a whole community, well, it's well tricky, and it doesn't even give people a way to learn. Well, I'm talking before and his before fucking behavior, not now. I think now I haven't been keeping up a lot, but I think he's changed. I think a lot is he's doing better now. A lot of people told me, why not talk to him in private, right? Why not settle this in private? I tried. I warned him about how people are not perceiving him. I've tried to warn him. I've been trying to be there for him yet again. He didn't want to listen. And that's when it finally clicked for me. Where was he for me? I'm the type of guy that I can always have your back, but comes a time where I have to be like, were you there for me as well when I needed you? And the fact is, he was never there. I got copyright striked. He wasn't there. Not even how are you doing? I fucked up publicly. Not even a how do you do? And now I'm probably going through my most challenging moments in my life, which happened before this occurring. Not even a how do you do? I don't know if you play baseball, but I can be your friend as long as you're being a friend back. I can't be a yes man. So at that point, me not even having the ability to speak in my least engaging platform about how I truly feel, which is, again, for your own good, because if you see someone that have always had your back going against your current behavior, you should sit the fuck down and question what the fuck you're actually doing. Instead, you decided to call that person a snake, a someone that have always had your back. Why would I just suddenly turn? Unless you were doing something that'll make me go, dude, I don't stand by this. I don't stand by this, man. If I don't know about you, but if I someone beating a puppy, I'm not standing next to that guy. Yeah, I can help you out when you're in jail, but I'm not standing next to you. I hope that makes some sense. So when he catches wind on my opinion on the matter, on that current behavior at that current time, not now, let me again be specific, he goes out and calls me a snake, and a lot of people in the group chats he talks about, etc., agrees with that sentiment, which was very sad for me and very hurtful, to be completely honest, to be called that. And when I once I was told of the fact that he called me a fucking snake for literally no reason, again, not even solid snake, I'll take that. I go to confront him on stream. I'd be like, yo, what the fuck is this about? And I don't know if you know anything about me, but I'm not like the biggest let me have a fight with you typing. Either VC me, I would prefer face-to-face, but sadly, this is the internet. But I'm a more face-to-face kind of guy because I like to throw hands in if case need be. I don't like assault, but sometimes it's kind of necessary because some people talk a lot of smack. And because of the internet, they think they can get away with that smack. That's why I personally prefer face-to-face. But the least I can have is VC. So, and he goes, I'm not going to have VC with you because you're a drama goblin. Which is funny because I didn't even farm him when that shit was happening from back in the day. Instead, I stood by him, did not want to put any more fuel to the fire, and instead, we were both farmed by someone else. That drama was being farmed by someone else. When he and I were talking on stream, that shit was being farmed by someone else. How am I a drama goblin? How am I being called a drama goblin by you specifically? How was it? I wasn't the one farming, man. I remember someone calling me on his chat Snake V or Drama Goblin V, and to that I say, before you call me Snake V or Drama Goblin V, photos every day. Oh shit. And no, I don't really see why I deserved your disdain then. Again, I go back to the only explanation for me personally is He's Broly, like he's, to be more specific, Brolisha. He just can't tell what from friend or foe. He just out there destroying everything in his path, like the demon that he is. And hey, you do you, man. What do you want me to say? I try to help you not get into certain situations, which now a lot of people I hear are saying, oh, he's a little too much, etc., etc. You're a pit bull, you're this. My hope was for you not to be called that, for you to be the intelligent, fucking smart ass man I know for you that you can be, etc. Like you can have that one reputation. But if you want to portray yourself like that, I guess I can't really fucking stop you. I'm not your dad and also your mom. So, hey, you do you. The St. Tom test one was definitely a hurtful one, to be honest. That hurt me a lot. I'm not going to lie. Especially when people like didn't even try to understand my side or anything like that. It was kind of eye-opening, I'm not going to lie. It definitely was, in the nature of everything, which was very interesting to me. Again, I'm more of a curious slash, as long as I get to learn something from this whole ordeal, it's always a W for me. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, when it comes to that one particular situation, I was hurt by it a lot. I'll admit. You know what? I'll take my L when it comes to being a bitch in that situation. Sure. I may have gotten emotional at a certain moment, for sure. And hell, I'm talking about it now because I felt like it was still here, and I don't want to leave goddamn 2024 with shit in my chest. So I was getting off everything from my chest. So at the time of recording this video, it's the end of 2024. 2025 is upon us, and as we all know, gym membership stocks now are at an all-time high. People are already taking their before pictures, and as we all know, those people are going to end up with the before and the one before that pictures at the end of the year. And that's something I want to talk about. Now, when it comes to motivation, that shit is finite. You don't get motivated. You will get that burst of motivation because it's the end of the year. There's that spirit. Everybody's like posting their yearly resolution bullshit. It doesn't work. That shit does not work. What I would invite you to do is try to develop something called the discipline, right? Or discipline. Try to develop some of that. Discipline is a very hard thing to build. Because I say build because it literally is exactly that. It's building. And understand that results take a lot of time. It may not take you 1 year, and you don't have to reach that goal in that 1 year because people keep rushing. People feel like, well, I'm not going to even reach that goal in this year anyway. Fuck it. No, always keep working on building the groundwork on which you can build your temple. Make sure the groundwork is done well first. Then you can start putting on bricks. People just be putting bricks in a fucking desolate field. You sometimes have trauma. You sometimes have a lot of debuffs that you're dealing with. Maybe you want to get rid of those first. Don't go into losing battles. Try to make sure you're smart in how you go about things. Because one thing I learned recently is pain and suffering are not rewarded. You're not rewarded for pain and suffering. That shit is free. You're rewarded for smart choices in life. That's what you're truly rewarded for. There is no, oh, I struggled, I suffered and everything. And that's why, like, a lot of people like to put like this coping mechanism of, oh, I'm struggling and I'm in pain right now, but eventually this will be the key to victory. And no. Get smarter, get better skills. And then those things will help you get away from that. And if pain and suffering is not like a motivation, that shit is just free. A lot of people claim that pain and suffering was the reason they succeed. Is because that pain and suffering was their motivation to actually get the necessary skills and make the smart choices they made to get out of that particular situation. But what I've been observing is people, when in pain and suffering, they go lower. It weighs them down. They drown even further. And that's sad to see. So please understand that ultimately, you're not going to get a miracle or a handout in life that are just going to get you out of that pain and suffering. You just got to make smart choices in life, keep working hard, work smart, work hard, and I'm fairly certain you can definitely make something great out of yourself. So for yearly resolutions, I would suggest look at yourself, look at the debuffs you're dealing with, understand them, understand how you can best navigate them, make smart choices, make smart goals, logical goals, and let life play out. And of course, make sure you actually do the fucking work, because unless you do the fucking work, ain't nothing happening. You can have a plan as long as that plan is in the wall and not being applied. It doesn't matter. That shit is just there on the wall. So make sure you get out and put in the work. All right. So for me, 2024 was quite the roller coaster. I'll admit. I've been blessed this year, and I've been smacked the fuck down this year. My 2024 was like a shitcoin fucking chart, man. Like that shit was way up, and then it just came smacking down, man. It was a very very interesting year. I've believe it or not, I'm probably at one of my lowest points in my life, actually, and I still would like to tell you that despite me being in this lowest point, that you can do it. That I want you to be positive. I want you to keep pushing. I don't want you to give up. I want you to never quit. I want you to keep even as like you get like that knockout punch in your face. I still want you to keep looking at that goal, even as you're going down, because you're gonna get back up, and it's always about getting back up. It's always about getting back up. Like you can't move through life without taking hits, man. Call me Rocky Balboa. You can't. So please make sure you trust in yourself and invest in yourself. We like to trust people. We like to invest in people, but we don't like to invest in ourselves because we let ourselves down multiple times. You once had a gym subscription. You gave up on that shit. You once tried to ask a girl out. You failed on that shit. You may have even started a YouTube channel and was like, nah, I'm not getting that instant gratification. And you'll notice it's always about that instant gratification. People like to throw in the towel because things aren't going their way, and things aren't going their way for me. For me right now, in the worst possible ways. I've lost a lot of my life. I lost my family. I've a girlfriend, if that even matters. I've lost a lot, and despite that, like you gotta keep pushing. You gotta keep trying. You gotta keep having a good outlook on life. Unless you do that for yourself, no one is gonna give that to you, really. I'm gonna be completely honest, because people are dealing with that shit themselves. Everybody has the same problem when it comes down to that particular area in people's lives. So everybody have their own struggles and their own pain. Just look closely, and you'll notice that as we all have a need to breathe in oxygen, we all share that. We also share the fact that everybody's dealing with their own shit, and everybody's just out there pushing themselves to keep going, to keep being and having the attitude that they have to go about their daily lives, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. So yeah, 2025 is here. I'll definitely try to go back to my roots. I've definitely learned a lot, especially by the end, that I've been transforming into something I'm not. And I'm definitely displeased. And I love people that actually call me out on that shit. I remember someone telling me that it's very, very close friend of mine. He said that, oh, let's wait until V get out of that tectone phase of his. That was very accurate. It was very accurate, especially when the man himself calls you out on that shit. That was pretty ironic. But then I realized that that was like a major slap back to that one phrase I heard, and I was like, oh shit, I guess you know what? He was right. So let me get back to being a little bit of fully me for a bit though. I like getting inspired. When I look up at someone, I try to imitate and emulate them as much as possible. But maybe I've been doing that a little too much. So I'm definitely have to dial back, which is a necessity. You can't be someone you're not. Obviously, I'm not much of a dick. I can be. I'm just saying I shouldn't try to be. Like I can be in certain moments, but I shouldn't be out there literally trying for the sake of fitting in, right? I shouldn't be doing that. That's stupid. Or maybe because I thought it was cool. That shit may be cool when someone do it with a certain art. There's certain art to it, and I don't have a grasp of that art. So definitely not doing that shit again on purpose. Definitely not. I don't want to be called a grandpa. I gotta be the grandpa allegations, man. Yeah. I hope this was instructive. It was good. A little bit of an update. I hope everything is clear. If there's anything that's not understood or not clear, please leave it in the comments. I'll try to reply to every single one. And mostly thank you for all your support, For the people that still leave me messages, for the creators that still reach out, I see you. I really do. It means the world to me, especially now more so than fucking ever. Yeah. I'll try to come back to streaming as soon as possible. It's definitely my passion. I try to do YouTube still, but well, I'm dealing with certain debuffs, which makes it a little difficult to, be here. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting things in order. Hopefully, better soon. If you can be patient with me, it would mean the world to me. I have a lot of plans to when I come back. I definitely want to start doing things I always wanted to do for the longest time. And yeah, thank you very, very much for listening and being here. It means the world.